Aloha! My name is Savannah,
Sara,
Layla,
Marissa, and we are doing a book review on Moloka'i written by Alan Brenner.
Moloka'i is a book divided into 4 parts and 23 chapters. This historical fiction novel is about a young Hawaiian girl who contracts leprosy at age 6. She was then kept at a prison-like facility in which she stays for a year. After the treatments at the facility not making any progress, she is then transported to a leprosy settlement called Kalaupapa on the northern part of the island Moloka'i. She was separated even further from her family, which then eventually ruins the marriage of her parents. Her mother couldn't bear the shame for her children and herself, therefore she moved them. The book is just a representation of all the pain people went through in Hawaii, where this actually in fact did happen.
Alan Brenner, author of the book Moloka'i, was born in Englewood, New Jersey, but he has been living in Southern California since 1973. He received a Bachelor's of Arts degree in English from California State University, and he finished his work in screenwriting from UCLA Film School. Later, he became a writer-producer for many works that eventually gained him many awards, such as an Emmy and the Golden Globe Award. In 1993, he worked on a 4-hour movie that was going to be aired on NBC, but the network opted out and the movie never aired, leading to the writing of Moloka'i. Since Brenner has a past career of filmmaking, his views on Hawaii in Moloka'i can be considered as false information about Hawaii's land and culture, as he was doing in his movies or shows that he was producing.
Some strengths and aspects of the book, Moloka'i, that I particularly liked were how the book illustrated the perspective of the people who were isolated in the leper colonies. It gave us the idea of the hardships these people faced and provided valuable learning experiences for the reader.
A weakness that I found while reading Moloka'i was that some of the scenes can be very inappropriate and very graphic for younger readers, especially when Alan Brenner was talking about the sick patients at the camp that Rachel was attending.
Into the story. The book has very few weaknesses in my eyes, but for example, a lot of the words in the book are Hawaiian, so in the middle of a sentence there will just be a random Hawaiian word, and that may be difficult for some people of a younger age who would read the book. That would be like if I said maipake in my presentation instead of leprosy, no one would know what it was.
Despite its flaws, the novel Moloka'i received much praise and many positive reviews.
For example, a review written by Mary Whipple states, Brenner enriches his novel by incorporating events described in real documents and journals in Hawaii archives into his story of the settlement. Though the novel Moloka'i received many praises, there were also some criticisms. For example,
this review, written on Goodreads.com, notes that the novel had anachronistic modernisms, boring cliches, and metaphorical flourishes that fell flat. It also points out that because the author is a screenwriter, much of the dialogue here is not appropriate for a novel, but rather for a TV show.
In the novel Moloka'i, it illustrates various connections to history, primarily about events and new innovations that took place during the 1800s. For instance, in the novel it mentions the people of Honolulu being amazed by the sight of steamboats at the harbor, as it was still newly developed. Steamboats was first introduced in the early 19th century, with Robert Fulton being the innovator with his first successful ship called the Claremont. The overall effect from the introduction of steamboats was it made national trade significantly easier, as it provided an efficient mode for transportation. Furthermore, Brenner also noted the events that led to the annexation of Hawaii into the United States. For example, he mentioned the death of King Kalakaua, which was caused by Bright's disease, then goes on to note how his successor, Queen Liliuokalani, was deposed. In the novel, he portrays the queen to have been overruled by a small coterie of white businessmen, which is historically accurate, as on January 17, 1893, Hawaii's monarchy was overthrown by businessmen and plantation workers. Moreover, the novel then goes on to note the period between July 4, 1898 to August 12, 1898, where the nation was now called the Republic of Hawaii, which was a period of time before Hawaii was officially annexed into the United States when the provisional government ended. Lastly, another historical connection I found was on the leprosy colonies at Kalaupapa and the islands of Moloka'i. Leprosy is a chronic infection spread from skin contact, damaging skin and peripheral nerves. The main protagonists, Rachel and her uncle Pono, were both diagnosed with leprosy and sent off to the colony. The leprosy colonies came about as a result of the infectious nature of the diseases and a lack of treatment for it. And in 1865, a law was placed to arrest and isolate those who had the disease.